Hello, my name's Lena, and despite the fact that Season 2 of hit indie animated web series Helluva Boss has yet to fully be released, I have some predictions about not only how Season 2 will end, but also how the story will continue onwards into Season 3. It's been confirmed by Vivziepop herself that Helluva Boss will have 5 seasons, so these are just some early guesses about what those seasons might entail, plus some one-off episodes I'd really like to see. Now, will this video age badly? Most definitely. Not once have I ever made an accurate prediction about anything ever, so if you're worried I might accidentally spoil the show for you, I assure you, you'll be okay. While I do have some reasoning and pseudo-evidence for most of my predictions, a lot of what I'm talking about here is just a combination of wishful thinking and vibes. But let's get into it anyway. Okay, first off, take a look at this clip from the trailer. I know, it's blink and you'll miss it, but here's the important screenshot. Isn't that weird? Not Stolas and Blitz being back together, that's to be expected. They're literally the heart of the show. No, I mean the fact that Blitz is protecting Stolas here from what I presume is an attack by Andrelphus, being from the same scene as this screenshot. The issue here, at least in my mind, is that there's no reason Stolas shouldn't be able to fight off Andrelphus easily by himself. Not only have we seen Stolas fight, so we know he's fairly competent, but he's also a higher rank than Stella's brother, being a prince, while Andrelphus is like a viscount or something? And I'm assuming power scales accordingly, so again, why does he need Blitz's protection, especially because he clearly doesn't have those divine ropes Stryker used to tie him up, restricting him? It doesn't make any sense, why isn't he fighting back? Unless Stolas has been stripped of all/most of his power, and that neatly brings us into theory number 1. In the court scene, Stolas is stripped of his magic and authority. It's been mentioned numerous times throughout the series that the fact that Stolas allows Blitz to travel to the human world using his grimoire is, in fact, very much illegal and not allowed. It's also been said by Stolas himself and shown throughout the show that Stolas isn't exactly subtle about displaying public affection for Blitz, regardless of time and place. I believe when planning for the divorce court, Stella and Andrelphus will put 2 and 2 together, not helped by the fact that the dorks literally got them on camera, and will bring up Stolas' criminal acts to Satan as a part of the reason to justify the divorce. This will be a big blow to Stolas, losing him both his title to Stella, or Octavia, and his magic to Satan. My prediction is that all this will happen in Mastermind, and Sinsmas will be a bittersweet season finale with Stolas spending his Christmas with the IMP gang, and Blitz's gift to Stolas will be offering him a job at IMP working with him. This won't only be a very cute moment between the two, but the scene was actually foreshadowed in Season 2, Episode 1.
Sure, family. Well, you know what I'm gonna do when I grow up? I'm gonna run my own circus, and I'm gonna be the most famous imp ever, and I'll be able to do what I wanna do all day. I'm gonna make so much money and buy myself a big building with a big office.
A big office? For a circus?
Yeah, a big office. Circus business with clowns and horses. And the horses will all have good names, like Stapler and Biscuit Queen.
I'm sure you will. That sounds like a good business.
Yeah, and if you apply, I'll hire you. Maybe.
You'll hire me?
Yeah, if I feel like it.
Well, I hope I qualify. You'd be a good boss.
You say that with sarcasm, but I totes would.
This will be a good way to end off Season 2, and is exactly what my little brain thinks is going to happen, which leads us into my thoughts about Season 3. Theory 2. Season 3 will return to more silly, goofy adventures in the human world, but this time, Stolas will be there. At least the first half of Season 3 will be the Imps and Stolas going on jobs together. I think this is going to be a great vehicle for Stolas to gain some much-needed character development. Stolas is regularly demeaning to Imps. He's slowly working away from that with his relationship with Blitz, but every interaction we've had between Stolas and the M&Ms have been quite condescending or just non-existent, and it really feels like Stolas thinks he's better than them. At least in my opinion. Also, Stolas is used to bossing around and mistreating butler imps, so learning that imps are in fact people too that deserve respect by going on jobs with some, not just Blitz, will be great for him. I especially hope he and Millie hit it off. Because he lost all his power, he'll finally be on a level playing field with Blitz. helping soften Blitz's inferiority complex, opening more productive conversation. Hopefully Stolas learns to really like and appreciate Millie and Moxie so he can join in on this whole found family vibe the Imp crew have going on. Now that all that's out of the way, let's discuss 3 episode ideas I really want to get in Season 3. Number 1. I really want a Stella and Octavia episode. I feel like the two of them have a pretty good relationship, or at least a better relationship than Stolas and Octavia. Episode 2 made it sound like Octavia doesn't feel like Stolas loves her, or at least not enough, and honestly, I can't even really defend him. Both times we've seen him with his daughter, he's messed up pretty bad, and she still forgives him. Stolas is also often shown home alone while Stella spends time with Octavia.
You know, I have some more wine in the house. Octavia's with her mother this weekend, so we could.
Why are you still here? You leave with Fia on weekends, but then you stay around the house despite everything.
It's also odd that after the separation, Octavia doesn't seem to stay living with Stolas, instead opting to go with her mother. I only think this though because the Night of Apology tour and the following day made it seem like Stolas was living there alone, although I could be wrong. Either way, I'm a sucker for villains that have redeeming qualities, and Stella being a good, or at least a pretty alright mother, would make me very happy. Vivian Medrano did say they would delve into Stella's backstory in an interview, so maybe an episode half Stella with Octavia, half Stella backstory would be pretty cool. Number 2. Moxie and Stolas bonding over how similar they are would be amazing because truly they have pretty compatible personalities. They're both romantics, they like working, and I feel like Stolas could introduce Moxie to some soap operas and Moxie can introduce Stolas to some musicals. It would be really cute and they'd finally have someone else that also loves their hobbies. I know earlier I said I'd love Stolas and Millie to hit it off, but the more I think about it, the more I love Stolas and Moxie becoming besties instead. And number 3. I would love an episode that zeroes in on Beelzebub and why she allows the Hellhound adoption centers to be run like that. You can see her signature on Luna's papers, so obviously she's aware, yet the Hellhounds are still buddy-buddy with her at the parties. It doesn't really make sense to me, so I would love more insight on that and honestly all the sins in general. I don't know, she might be even worse than Mammon, yet she's portrayed like a good person in Queen Bee, but Mammon's portrayed like a bad person. I mean, he is, but I just want to understand the thought process here. Anyway, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, consider liking and subscribing, there's definitely more to come. Have an amazing rest of your day, night, evening, or afternoon. This is Lena, signing off. Toodles!